Hello, and thank you to everyone for joining the webinar. I'm Anthony Nagel, and I'm happy to have this opportunity to present SciMoCa, the Monte Carlo-based secondary dose check and plan QA software. But before we get into SciMoCa, I'd like to ask you a few questions. How would you feel with a higher level of treatment plan QA accuracy? What if you could save time on your patient QA? What if your patient safety confidence was higher? More time and more confidence will be the outcome of your QA with SciMoCa. This report from the World Health Organization provides data on the areas of the treatment process where adverse events occur. Between 1976 and 2007, they found 3,125 adverse events, and approximately 2,800 of those cases were in the areas of commissioning, planning, and treatment information transfer. These numbers are significant because SciMoCa has the ability to detect errors up to the point of patient setup. SciMoCa has sufficient sensitivity to find actual errors reliably, while also possessing the specificity to not trigger false positives. SciMoCa is a Monte Carlo dose calculation engine that uses machine-specific beam models to provide powerful analysis and reporting in a streamlined, web-based interface that runs on your local server infrastructure. The system is designed to run automatically and without the need for proprietary hardware. The end result is a plan QA tool that is one of the most reliable and most robust solutions in the market. Monte Carlo algorithms are well known for their accuracy, and SciMoCa is no exception. The accuracy of SciMoCa has allowed Dr. Fuviger at the European CyberKnife Center in Munich, Germany, to use the very tight plan evaluation criteria of 2% per 1 millimeter gamma while still observing pass rates greater than 95%. SciMoCa was also evaluated with TrueBeam machines at the Aarhus University Hospital in Denmark. Results there showed 90% to 98% pass rates for gamma analysis with a 1% per 1 millimeter threshold, and we have comparable agreement for CyberKnife treatments. This high level of agreement means SciMoCa will find actual errors and not deviations arising from a substandard dose calculation. In particular, the accuracy of SciMoCa for non-homogeneous regions is notable, as this is where substandard algorithms typically face the most issues. SciMoCa users can trust the secondary dose calculation and save time investigating false failing cases observed by less accurate patient QA methods. But the accuracy of Monte Carlo has historically been associated with a trade-off for speed. Thanks to the intelligent implementation and advances in hardware processing power, SciMoCa delivers performance that meets the demands of the clinic. Linac calculation times are typically less than a minute. Here we have the calculation time for an 8-beam prostate course using 3mm voxel size at 16 seconds, running on a dual 8-core Xenon server, and more complex prostate cases coming in at a 1-minute calculation time. When we move to more complex cases, we still see very quick calculation times. For meningioma and spine test cases using a CyberKnife, we find calculation times of 2 minutes for the 8-core server and 30 seconds for the 16-core server. These rapid calculation times are significant for workflows that require the second check of treatment plans just minutes before treatment. Perhaps most important when considering accuracy, the results of SciMoCa have been peer-reviewed. This study, performed with 25 patients across 5 case classes, found that the differences between the Boltzmann equation solver and Monte Carlo are below common experimental detection thresholds for clinical treatment plans. The full publication is available for review at the URL at the bottom of the slide or by scanning the QR code. Through the use of machine-specific beam modeling, SciMoCa achieves accuracy levels of 0.5 to 1%, which can be compared to levels between 3 to 5% for template-based calculations. This performance means you don't have to worry about deviations coming from inaccurate base data or improper commissioning of the treatment planning system. The beam models are created with proprietary modeling tools and are customized for your machine. For an accurate beam model, the measurements required are a set of output factors, photon depth doses, and cross-line profiles. In addition to getting a more robust calculation, we will also provide you with the beam data verification audit of the submitted measurements. The beam data quality check is a complimentary service that comes with the purchase of each SciMoCa beam model, but it can also be purchased separately from SciMoCa as well. This standalone service is a unique offering intended to provide peace of mind by independently reviewing the treatment planning system commissioning data model. Errors in beam data collection are reported to frequently lead to flawed treatment planning system beam models and thus to systematic dose computation errors, which are difficult to spot and to eliminate. Additionally, there are many international recommendations for independent audit of the data by a qualified medical physicist, such as AAPM Task Group 106, Task Group 53, and ESTRO Booklet 10. This is why we provide you with the beam model check as a complimentary service with the purchase of each SciMoCa beam model, or as a standalone service. The report will detail all possible inconsistencies and errors with their potential sources. Continuing on the subject of the beam data quality check, I'd like to share a couple real-world examples of errors detected by this service which may persist undetected without a review of this type. The first example on the top of the slide shows the progressive failure of a diode across a day of measurements. As you look from left to right, you can see the rising error value indicated in green. In the second case on the bottom of the slide, you can see an example of where the water has evaporated from a water phantom, resulting in an error for the effective point of measurement. I also have some comments addressing the accuracy of SciMoCa from Matthias Kovich, head of the Radiotherapy Physics Group at LKH Feldkirch, Austria. He said the following: I have validated our beam commissioning data using the Monte Carlo modeling within SciMoCa. The comprehensive validation report provided guidance to improve the PDD and MLC leaf calibrations in the treatment planning system. We now have the confidence that our beam data is correct and that our treatment plan calculations are of high quality. If you would like to hear more details about the experiences of Matthias Kovich, then I invite you to hear his webinar where he discusses the details of his experiences working with the base data and beam modeling of SciMoCa. To access the webinar, please go to the webinar section of the IBA Dosimetry webpage by typing the URL shown on the screen. From the perspective of device compatibility, SciMoCa supports a wide variety of machines. Specifically, SciMoCa supports all C gantry Linacs from Elekta, Siemens, and Varian. Also supported are CyberKnife machines, Tomotherapy, and the Halcyon and Ethos machines. And SciMoCa will work with all treatment planning systems which provide a DICOM export. SciMoCa works automatically in the background, without any need for regular human interaction. All you need to do is export the patient plan from your treatment planning system, and as soon as the data is received, SciMoCa will automatically start the calculation. The results of a SciMoCa calculation for a patient plan offer peace of mind across the whole treatment planning process. This is because SciMoCa is capable of serving as an end-to-end test from imaging to plan export. If we think back to the statistics from the World Health Organization at the start of this presentation, this means that SciMoCa can provide peace of mind for nearly 90% of the incidents they observed. The SciMoCa workflow has been designed for ease of use. Calculation jobs are automatically launched and run after the plan has been exported from the treatment planning system to the incoming DICOM folder. When the dose calculation is complete, the patient is automatically added to the patient work list, and optional email notifications can inform you of the new cases to review. The user interface is entirely web-based, so there's no need to install a local client on your workstation, and you can access the application from any computer that's connected to your network. After login, you'll be presented with the patient work list. The status of plans as well as the date updated and the date received are all clearly visible. The patient list allows the user to generate a PDF report, archive, or delete a plan as needed. When you click on a plan, you'll be presented with the detailed report shown on the right. This section shows comparative plan quality measures for both the treatment planning system dose and the SciMoCa dose, as well as the dose differences. You can create custom plan review templates for different disease sites, different physicians, and configure your templates with the full suite of plan quality measures containing your objectives and constraints. The report will show pass, fail, and variation acceptable for both the primary and secondary calculation. Any dose differences observed are color-coded based on the user-defined thresholds. As you scroll down, you'll find the interactive dose volume histogram and the image slice viewer. The dose volume histogram displays curves for the treatment planning system dose and SciMoCa dose. You can customize your view by turning individual structures on or off, and you can hover your mouse over the graph to present dose and volume statistics at any point on the curve. The slice viewer shows plan images and gamma plots on the planning CT. This lets you evaluate the plan on the patient anatomy level. You can scroll through the axial images, zoom, pan, enlarge, and take screenshots of any images to include in the final report. And finally, we have a beam information table that shows a range of data elements for individual beams, including monitor unit calculations. This table clearly states both the SciMoCa and treatment planning system MU expected for each field. The beam information table will also provide plan complexity scoring, which can be used to identify the fields which are more technically difficult to deliver with the machine. SciMoCa evaluates the following elements of a plan for complexity: field irregularity, leaf travel variability, small field contribution, off-axis contribution, leaf gantry synchronization, max leaf travel per monitor unit, and max gantry rotation per monitor unit. Once the review is complete, you can either approve or reject the plan. You can also unapprove or unreject a plan if required. If you would like to see the workflow directly for yourself, then I invite you to view the SciMoCa workflow video posted on the IBA Dosimetry YouTube channel. You can access that video by scanning the QR code on the bottom right of the slide or by typing the URL shown on the screen. And while we're discussing workflow and reporting, I'd like to quickly highlight the fact that SciMoCa calculates values required for secondary dose calculation checks on a per beam basis, fulfilling the reimbursement criteria based on our revenue cycle report information. Questions regarding reimbursement can be addressed to revenue cycle via IBA. In addition to viewing the report on the web interface, you can also generate a PDF report which can be printed, stored in a file, or distributed as needed. The server requirements for SciMoCa do not include any proprietary hardware, physics cards, or graphics cards because the calculations are performed by the CPU. This means that a server can be easily provisioned from an existing virtual server infrastructure or discrete hardware. The ClientServer model of SciMoCa integrates directly into your existing IT infrastructure, and the service-oriented architecture means that all of the calculation queuing and data processing is done in the background. On the topic of implementation, this map shows you the countries where SciMoCa can be found in use clinically. If you are interested in hearing more about SciMoCa directly from other users, then I'd like to mention a presentation by Dr. Kai Schubert, a medical physicist at the University Clinic in Heidelberg, Germany. In his 21-minute presentation, Dr. Schubert will discuss his implementation and clinical experiences with SciMoCa for LINAC, tomotherapy, and CyberKnife cases. So to summarize, the high-quality Monte Carlo implementation of SciMoCa and machine-specific beam models offer a very high specificity and sensitivity for your QA process. SciMoCa is deployed on a service-oriented architecture with a streamlined web-based interface that fits seamlessly in your clinical workflow. The software features a powerful and comprehensive set of analysis and reporting tools that run in an automated fashion with minimal user interaction. And there's no proprietary hardware required, so you can install SciMoCa on your existing hardware infrastructure. Applying SciMoCa as your 3D Monte Carlo secondary dose calculation will increase your confidence in your complete treatment planning process, allow you to efficiently structure your QA measurements, and help to ensure the safety of your patients. Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. If you'd like more information regarding SciMoCa, please feel free to reach out to either myself, Bill Tom, or your area sales manager. And for a copy of this recording, please contact Leslie Smith. Thank you.